Sorry. There we go. Can I get you to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, singing of the national anthem, and repeating the four-way test? I pledge allegiance to the States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Tim, next time I'll get a faster recording. So let's repeat the four-way test. Oh, yeah. Now does it look good? Okay, let's repeat the four-way test. Of the things we say, think, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? And will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you. Our invocation for today is by Marion Beckering.
Thanks, Ruth. Good afternoon, Rotarians, and no guests today. As we gather here to begin our new Rotary year in celebration and fellowship, let us pray. Creator and sustainer of all that is or will ever be, accept our gratitude to be together to begin a new year in our lives as Rotarians. Please give each of us the will to support our greater goals in service to the community first, and our personal satisfaction as simply a bonus. We are grateful for all new and existing committee chairs who have chosen to accept an even greater commitment to the success of our club. We are, of course, honored and appreciative of Ruth Lundine's unwavering leadership now as our president, and pray we will each answer her call for support when needed, and when we can, provide service above self. Grant that each of us may feel our responsibility to Rotary, to our community, to our country, and indeed to all countries and peoples. Let us continue to strive to make a better world. Bless our fellowship today. Bless this food to the nourishment of our bodies in your service. Amen.
Thank you very much, Marion. So she announced no visiting Rotarians, but we've got Jennifer here today. Hi, Jennifer, who has put in her application for membership. Welcome, welcome. All right. Geez, we've missed a couple of meetings, and do we ever have some announcements? So I would like to thank everyone who attended and everyone who was recognized at the President's Dinner. It was the culmination of an amazing weekend with the ribbon cutting for the sign and the recognition of the great year that John Healy has led us through. Thank you all. And now if I may ask Mike Roberts to come up. Mike, we recognize the triumvirate of the people who helped make this sign project complete after 25 years. We want to thank you for your wonderful leadership, and we appreciate it. And we wanted to give you this photo of the actual floating away ribbon from the ribbon cutting.
I will cherish this very much. I got a great place for it in my office. Thank you all. I appreciate it.
And as always, with many thanks to our Rotary Yours recorder today, and to the Communications Committee for all that you are doing, have done, and will be doing to keep our club and the community informed. Thank you, Sue. So some of you may have noticed the 3-part logo that is on today's program. John used this for the President's Dinner, and I just think that this is a logo, Rotary Connects, and it shows the community of Jamestown, the Club of Jamestown, and Rotary International, just to remind us all of how we are all interconnected in this world and locally. So, not surprisingly, Rotary International has called this month the New Leadership Month. So we will be at our next meeting passing around a list of committees so that people can confirm their committees, but we're also looking forward to some new leadership from the ranks this year. So I hope you'll consider, we'll send out a listing of the committees. I hope you will consider your role and how you can help service above self. So upcoming meetings, tomorrow at noon is the meeting of the Rotary Club of Jamestown Community Service Fund, and it will be at the Gebbe Foundation and by Zoom. July 13th, the Literacy Committee meets by Zoom from noon to 1 p.m. July 17th, there's no noon meeting. It is our golf tournament. Deadline is this Wednesday for either players or sponsors, or if you would like to be a non-playing participant at dinner. There was a sign-up sheet at the table. I will also be sending around a link so that if you'd like to come and celebrate with the successful golfers and the unsuccessful ones, I guess, please consider joining us at around 4:30 on the 17th. And at Moonbrook for the dinner and celebration. We could still use a few raffle prizes, so if you have a thought on that, we would appreciate any donations. And we have most of our volunteers. We're going to rearrange a couple of them, but I thank everyone for signing up to register. Signing up to volunteer. Our July 21st is our Board of Directors meeting at 8 o'clock. It will be at the Chautauqua Region Community Foundation or by Zoom at 8 o'clock on July 21st. So hopefully when you signed in, you saw that there were some Tarp Skunks tickets. We are sponsoring, Rotary is sponsoring, the AM and our Rotary are sponsoring July 26th. The Tarp Skunks game. And so we have free tickets. We'll be organizing some a get together between the two clubs, and we'll also be putting up a tent with some Rotary information. So we will keep you informed on that as we go along. But please get at least your 2 tickets, and if you would like more, write it down on the form so that we can make sure that everybody gets some. But if we want to make sure that all the tickets are used. July 28th and 29th is the Westfield Arts Festival. And some of the board members will know that the AM Club has asked us to assist and participate in a fundraiser. And this is a fundraiser, once again, for the transition program for women and children at the Jamestown YWCA. And how this fundraiser works is a company, the Trades of Hope, which is a company creating job opportunities for women leading their families out of poverty and human trafficking by marketing their ethically made jewelry and accessories. I'll get some more information out, but this is a wonderful opportunity. They will have a Trades of Hope representative will be at the Westfield Arts Festival selling the jewelry and accessories, and the funds, 10% of the funds will go to the YWCA transitional program. So that there will also be an online opportunity to buy the same product, and also get some of the proceeds will go to the YWCA. So it's a wonderful opportunity. It follows up on our coldest night of the year walk, where Rotary, the Rotaries got together and made a huge impact on that walk. So keep it in mind and watch for better details. And now, Tim Edberg, would you come forward? So Tim, oh, I didn't see it. It's been hiding. So Tim went and visited the,
Yep, the Rotary Club of Beverly Hills, California. I've had the opportunity to spend a lot of time in LA. My kids both live there, both of our kids. My sisters lived there for about 25 years. So I've had the opportunity to get there to do makeups. What a great club, just like our club. I mean, right? I mean, Jamestown, what's the size of Jamestown? 30,000? Beverly Hills is 30,000. The club meets at noon on Monday. So it's a lot of similarities to our club. Great people, just like this club, same demographic. So it's kind of neat. And even better, my daughter's going to join the club. So she's in the process of doing that right now. So anyway, last time I was there, the president said, Tim, why aren't you let's do a flag exchange. So I did. I brought a Jamestown Rotary Club flag out last time I was there in May. We did an exchange, and there's nothing formal, President Ruth, that I found that it has to be done other than on behalf of the Rotary Club of Beverly Hills. I'd like to present the Rotary Club of Jamestown, New York, their flag. So there you have it. So thanks. I got to stay President Ruth.
yeah. So I think many people don't realize we have our own flag, and this is an opportunity that you have anytime you travel. Rotarians are encouraged to visit a club where you go and learn more about how other Rotaries function and what's being done in their communities. So anyone who's making a trip, we encourage you to request a flag, and we will and then hear back from you of what you found at the Rotary Club that you visited. All right. So as Marion alluded to, we are looking for a chair for the invocation committee, and anyone who's interested can contact me. The person would be responsible for assigning a member for each meeting to lead a non-denominational invocation. And also I would like to, say that I'm looking for volunteers I'm going to form a IT support group to help with the meetings to make sure that everything gets up and running. So I'm looking for a volunteer or two to help out there, sort of like with 50-50, let's sign up and do it. And also I'm looking for someone to be like a volunteer coordinator, because this is something that I worked on really hard the last couple years, and I would appreciate assistance in making sure that we have volunteers for all the events that we do. And now, does any committee chairs have announcements?
Okay, cheers for the Literacy Committee. It's time for the Summer Leap program again. And I just wanted to do a little overview. The LEAP program began in 2020. Okay, the LEAP program began in 2020, and I believe the Community Foundation had a lot to do with that. And so that very first year, of course, we were, COVID was there. And so what we did is members of the Literacy Committee read books that were recorded and posted on Facebook. So that's what we did our first LEAP year, the first year of LEAP. In 2021, we went to Love School. We had 21 volunteers that provided 27.5 hours of reading. In 2022, we had 15 volunteers who provided 25 hours of reading. So this year in 2023, I've talked to the coordinator there at Love School, and we'll be looking to do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday from 10 to 11. That is the time the children are most focused because the program starts at 9 o'clock, but they have breakfast. And you'll see when you come at 10 o'clock, a few of them will still be eating their breakfast. Okay, but that's why we delay until 10. And then they have lunch at noon, but sometimes they get called to lunch early. So anyway, we find the most productive time is that golden hour between 10 and 11. So, and we're gonna focus on 1st, 4th, and 5th grade because they do have a reading instructor that works with different classes at the same time every day. So 2nd and 3rd grade are out because they'd be pulled out of the class to do that. So we're going to focus on 1st, 4th, and 5th. And I really think they're the classes that will benefit the most because I know those 4th and 5th graders, they lost so much with COVID. They really need it. And of course, the 1st graders, you want to get them enthused about reading. So I will ask Chris, who's on vacation, to send out a club runner sign up. But just to give you a heads up, we're looking at July 24th through August 9th. Okay, so that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 10 to 11. So that'll be 9 mornings, only 9 mornings that we have the opportunity with a goal of 27 hours this year. So thank you everyone that's participated. It's a lot of fun. I know Chris loves it. Yeah, so thank you in advance. So that will be coming out on Club Runner. I'll also have a sign-up sheet here, stand at the stand there and help get people signed up. So thank you.
Just quickly, I sent out the invoice for your dues the day of John's thank you dinner. Because I didn't want you paying much before July 1st. So some of you have paid online and you've paid $160. If you pay online, it's $166 because we have to pay a fee unless Chris has already updated that fee. I don't think he has. Okay, so I just wanted to point that out. Some of you have paid, which is great, but the club is having to pay an extra $5 or $6 for your dues because you didn't put in $166. And that may not have been clear in my email, and I apologize for that. So if you could just somehow, slip me $6, that'd be good. So if you can all have your dues in, hopefully in the next, month or so, that would be fabulous because I have to send off a $4,400 check here by the end of the year. So I hate chasing people down. So this is my first start of the chase, just so you're aware. Thank you. I'm gonna send the invoice out again. I'll give you a month and then I'll chase you down again. I'm sure you were. So I'm chasing. You'll probably get 3 emails from me if you have not caught up to me in that time period. And then after that, you'll probably get singular emails. And then I might visit.
So, Jim Smith, I think you had an announcement.
I just wanted to personally thank Emily for her flexibility today for the program. As you know, in the past, we've tried to have programs from Chautauqua for the month of July, but it's getting more difficult. And especially this year, the opera company is not there as long. And so Carol and I were working very hard to try to have a program here today, and it didn't work out. And we just found out. So we really appreciate your flexibility. She's been about a month. She's been waiting to know if she was going to speak today or not. Also, we're having a little trouble communicating with the theater department, and but the student who is receiving our scholarship, Soren Peterson, will perform for us on the 31st. So we do have that program. Back to opera. I don't know, we may have lost the opportunity going forward because their programs have been reduced as far as time and budget wise. And Carol isn't too optimistic about the future. So I don't know if we'll be able to have that. So it's been a wonderful time period for having Chautauqua programs, and hopefully we'll have them when we can in the future. So thanks.
All right. So now, do you have a happy buck? Well, he's got a problem.
Should do with the microphone. You better sit down. And get up when somebody back in the room tells you to get back up again. But I need to solve I think I can solve a problem. If Sue Jones, would you please come up here? As Sue is making it up here, there's a guy in the back, right in the back of the middle of the room sitting there, all wrapped up. I heard that he promised you that if you would say, I do, he would put a penny in the bank every day. But I have heard he has not put a penny in the bank every day because he says when he goes to the bank is closed and he can't get in to do it. Well, I think I can solve that because I know where there's a bank that is never closed. Greg, will you come up here? Did you bring a penny? Well, I don't care if you brought a penny with you or not. But you had trouble getting in because the banks were closed.
Yes.
Well, I think I discovered one that is never closed. Can you tell me if this will work?
I can one-handed, but I can't see it.
Well, she'll help you.
Oh my gosh. Oh, look at that. Jamestown Savings and Loan Association. Jamestown Savings and Loans actually was, my father was the board of directors there and later president. This goes way back. So that's a treasure. That's a real treasure. But one problem with this bank, you didn't put any coins in it.
I did not in this one, but you did not put one in any of all of them. So see if you can put a penny in it, but I realized that was part of your family's history, and it's been on a shelf in my house for a long, long, long time. And now it's happy to be home.
My uncle Elliot was one of the first presidents, or maybe the first president of Savings Loan on 2nd Street. So it had a good run, and that place got broken into by thieves one year, and I got called in by the FBI because they wanted my fingerprints to see if I was involved in that, but I escaped.
Okay, thank you too. Thank you. Thank you. And I was very lucky. I was involved with the Jamestown Savings Bank also. And that was open most of the days, but we didn't know it. And I thank you so much for what you're doing with the baseball team, and you're supporting the Skunks, and you're all skunk lovers, and you'll be down at the ball game and having a good time. And don't worry about being the first one at the ballpark, because there is not a bad seat in that ballpark. They're all wonderful seats, and there's never a bad seat at a ball game. And if you didn't have a meal, or if you didn't get a chance to get a steak or anything, or a filet mignon or anything, don't worry, because down at that stadium, a hot dog is better than any steak or any meal you'll get in any other restaurant in the world. So enjoy yourself, and thank you. And I don't know whether it's got back to you or not officially, but Rotary we're going to work with Babe Ruth Baseball World Series because of a team from China coming into Jamestown. Are you still working on that? I hope not, because I have learned from headquarters, but not from the local vice president here in town of Babe Ruth, but the team from China will not be coming to the Babe Ruth World Series this year. The other foreign team is coming in. They're trying to get another one, but the one from China is not going to make the trip. And Babe Ruth Baseball the World Series committee should have checked with you and let you know that. As a couple of weeks ago, I learned that as Mrs. Eklund was talking to Dennis Webster on the radio station. And now I've got one more very good big gift for all of you. It's going to happen shortly, but not right now, because I don't want to miss the program, but I will be leaving. Oh. Well, I'm not going anyplace now. I'm going to stay right here one more time. No, I'm left-handed. I'm left-handed. Well, my mother always done it there. Right there. No, thank you. And she told me, was that any good? See if you can do it. Oh. Oh, boy.
Thank you so much, everyone. I love this Rotary. It's great. Okay. And now, Vince, I think we're ready for 50-50. Auction.
Get to pick out the winning ticket. I will be the official reader. The last four, 1686. 1686. Oh, right back there.
All right. Thank you, Vince. All right. So the winner is none other than Max Miller. All right. No, give a hand for our Sergeant at Arms.
Happy New Year. Hey, good. Have a couple bucks to start off the day. Mark had to leave early. Jim is always appreciative as ever. And we'll move it right along because time is getting on us. Although I should have had Russ stay up front because June was pictured in the paper at a Norton Club induction. And I'm sure he wants to honor June. Okay. And then yes. Oh, very good. Very good. Andrew Jackson. We like that. Oh. And then there's a person that I've missed a little bit, but she's here most regularly because she was pictured at a Give Big CHQ thing back in June that she didn't get recognition here for. And then today, she's in two newspapers, front page on one of them for helping the Faulkner area. Thank you. And Becky, you're in the paper, and Michelle is not here, is she? No. But St. Susan's, Northwest Bank, and Sue has volunteered to chip in for that. Yeah. And by the way, state troopers waiting out there, so you can do the report on Sue for that. But okay. All right. So that's about what we have for today, Madam President, but we might have some happy bucks.
Sherry, okay.
Hi, thank you, Ruth. I just real quick, I wanted to thank everybody who supported Yoa over the last year. He is safely home in Copenhagen, or well, home. He got into Copenhagen the other day. His parents are really glad to have him. I also want to thank everybody who took the time to come to our house for our little gathering. We had a great time. We really enjoyed having you all. So thank you so much. I will be coming back to you with some news about our next student once I get it. I have spoken with his mom, so hopefully soon you'll be hearing more from that. But thank you very, very much for the club support.
All right, so I have 20 something happy bucks right there. Mainly I missed quite a few meetings the last month. Things have been pretty busy, both work and personally. So I'm happy I could finally make it back. And then also too, I'm just grateful I just continue to get more opportunities to keep serving in the community and helping out. So thank you to Tori and the Community Foundation. I'm an elected member over there now, and I'm now chairing the board for Chautauqua Striders. So things are going up.
Congratulations. Congratulations. All right. And now, Joni, would you like to introduce the birthday table?
I said that only because we usually have so few people come for the birthday table that Tori is here. Mark Olson was here. But anyway, we do the birthday table because it supports the Rotary International Foundation. And remember I was harping on you a little bit about making sure you got your birthday money into the foundation, or actually to me, send it to me or to Kathy. Because John, every president has a goal, and John's goal was $8,000 for the year. And when I looked at it, there was only 2,000 in there in June, and I was a little worried. I wasn't, I was dropping the ball. And then Kathy told me she was writing the 6,000 plus check because she was holding on to the money. So we made the goal. Give yourself a big hand, round of applause. Thank you. And so you can't rest because Ruth has the same kind of goal. So, the goal is every Rotarian every year. So we have the sustaining club, member club, which helps you. You can fill out a form with me, and then you commit to $100 a year to the Rotary International Foundation, and you do it during your birthday month. And that gets you towards a Paul Harris Fellow, which, by the way, we still have 2 to award, and we will get there eventually. And then another way you can give is some people just give the amount of their birthday year. Most of us are under 100. And that's okay too. So whatever gets us to that president's goal is what we're after. So thank you very much. So for July, we celebrate Denise Jones. She had her birthday on July 3rd. She's the CEO at the Resource Center. She went to our local Jamestown Community College, Binghamton University, and Roberts Wesleyan College. And she is a Paul Harris Sustaining Club member, that $100 a year I talked about. She's one of those members. Diana Meckley brought her to us. Thank you, Diana. And she joined us in 2015. Happy birthday, Denise. Is Denise online by any chance? No. Okay. Next is Rita Freeborough, who is off enjoying retirement. Her birthday was July 4th. That was quite a day. She used to work at SUNY JCC as an employment development specialist. And or maybe she still does. No, she's retired. See, if you don't fill out your profile, I just tell stories about you. She went to college at the University of North Florida, Penn State University, and Community College of Allegheny County. And I don't have her sponsor, but she just joined us last year. No, this year, May. Is that Diana again? You're going to get a gold star. Look at you. Okay, Chris Anderson, who's off on vacation, his birthday was July 6th. Works at the Resource Center, marketing and internet manager. He went to, again, what's our local college? Jamestown Community College, Slippery Rock, and St. Bonaventure. I don't have his sponsor either. And he joined us in 2013, and he has a Paul Harris Fellow from 2020. Will you? Okay. I know. I'll put you down. And if anybody ever checks a profile, they can fix it. Anyway, happy birthday, Chris. Next is Paulette Klein. She's online. Her birthday was yesterday. Happy birthday yesterday, Paulette. She attended the University of Akron, graduated from the University of Akron, Northeastern Ohio College of Medicine School of Public Health, and Kent State University. And she is a member of the Paul Harris Sustaining Club Her sponsor is Mayor Eddie Sundquist, and she joined us in 2020. And she is a Paul Harris Fellow from 2009. So she's obviously moved clubs. Happy birthday, Paulette. Mike Mooth's birthday is tomorrow. He's a graduate of the University of Chicago and the University of Notre Dame. He is a Paul Harris Sustaining Club member. He was sponsored by John D. Hamilton, and he joined us in 1990. And he's a past president and a Paul Harris Fellow 2 times. Happy birthday tomorrow, Mike. Next, we have Tori Ergang, whose birthday is July 17th. So we're having a golf tournament on your birthday, just for you. Yep, just for you. She is the executive director of the Chautauqua Region Community Foundation, and anyone who knows how they operate just loves the whole thing. She attended the University of Mount Union and is a Paul Harris Sustaining Club member. John Lloyd brought her to us, and she joined us in 2011, and she is a Paul Harris Fellow in 2017. Happy birthday, Tori. Christy Brecht, she's longtime treasurer and treasurer of RCJCSF. She celebrates her birthday July 31st. She is a comptroller at Southern Tier Brewing and went to Penn State University, and a Paul Harris Sustaining Club member. Her dad, John Lloyd, brought her to the club in 2000, and she's a 3-time Paul Harris Fellow. Happy birthday, Christy. And Mark Olson was sitting by me, but he walked away. Something I said. His birthday is July 31st. He's the owner of Axiom Office Imaging, and went to our local school, Jamestown Community College. He was brought to the club by Stan Weeks, and he joined in 1986. I think that's the earliest one so far, folks. And he was president, and the year I came on in 2004, and he's a Paul Harris Fellow ×2. Happy birthday. So we're going to sing happy birthday to the July Sparklers. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, July Sparklers. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much, Joni. So I really appreciate that. I'm going to, let's see. One little thing up here, I think, before there we go, start. Does that? There we go. I think that will be better for, yeah, Russ? Oh, how old are you? Okay. No, we're not going to do that. Well, thank you. It is my great pleasure to introduce to you our speaker for today. It is Emily LeBlanc, who is the Food Access Coordinator for the Jamestown Public Market. She coordinates the mobile market, the CSA, and the community and school gardens programs. And I'm sure you'll hear, she'll tell you a lot more about it. But I also wanted to let you know that she is new, just arrived here in December, and they bought a farm without finding jobs even, but now they found jobs. And so we want to make sure we give her a real Rotary warm welcome and introduce her to the community. Emily.
Hi there. So I work for Jamestown Public Market. My particular section of it is the Jamestown Mobile Market. So under that, I take care of the things basically that Linnea doesn't have time to do. The Jamestown Mobile Market was originally founded in 2017, and it is designed to bring produce, fresh fruits and vegetables into food deserts in Jamestown. Yeah, you might already know, there has been a study saying that in Chautauqua County, there's a poverty rate of about 18.5%. In the city of Jamestown, it looks like it's more like 33% of people living in poverty or at a reduced income where it is difficult to both buy groceries and pay for things like housing at the same time. So we spend time, we go to the local farmers, we drive out on Wednesday morning and we pick up the food, the fruits, vegetables, and we have one baker. She is a Amish baker, and we pick up breads and cookies from her, and we bring them in town. We take them to St. Luke's so that we can drop them off for the CSA. The volunteers then package it up and get it ready for people to come pick it up. And then we head out into town, and our first stop is the Resource Center on 2nd Street. And this year we've changed our time, so it's not built up like it was last year. Eventually we will have, I hope, a pretty good clientele there. Then we go to the Prendergast Library and we sell there, and that's very popular. It's at the same time as last year. And then we go to the Chautauqua Center, and that's the end of Wednesday. Then I do my office work and go back out on Thursday, and we go to Crane Street, 8 Crane Street, and sell to the seniors there. And then we go to Bush Elementary. And right now we're between the end of school and the beginning of the summer programs. So there's not a lot going on right now. So if you want to come out and visit us, please do. We're there from 2:30 to 3:30 at Bush Elementary on Thursdays. We'd love to see you all, or invite your friends. Send the brochures. Anybody can shop with us. We take SNAP, we take Farmers Market Nutrition Program when that starts. We do double up food bucks, which is only good for fruits and vegetables. And we take cash and credit cards and all that good stuff. So we have multiple ways to pay for things. We're trying our best to educate people on healthy eating. So Molly Harvey from SNAP Ed comes with us sometimes and does food demonstrations, and she gives away samples, which is wonderful. People love that. They come and they get some food to eat in hand, and then they buy their food. We do our best to, like I say, provide recipes at the table so that people know how to cook what they're buying. Or, sometimes they're raw recipes. Like Molly once did a wonderful strawberry salsa. It was amazing. Yeah. You can do peach salsa, but you can also do it with other fruits. So that's always a lot of fun. We meet all kinds of people. We meet people with disabilities, people without disabilities, people who are working, people who are homeless. Roughly, I would say roughly 50% of our customers are seniors on SNAP, who may or may not have access to transportation. So bringing it to them is really important. The rest of the people either are paying cash, or in the case of occasionally there are homeless people who come up. One man was pretty clearly on the autism spectrum the other day, and I just handed him a peach. And he just wanted to talk to people. That's what he really wanted, was to just come up and say, you know, what are you doing? Who are you? He wasn't particularly interested in telling me about himself. He was just interested in making contact with people. The other things I do, I've been really lucky. I helped finish up a grant from the USDA for the schools. It's a farm to school program. And what we did was we installed a garden. I got to help build the garden at Bush Elementary. And we literally built the beds, filled them in, and the kids got to plant them. The kids got to help build the beds too, which was a lot of fun. And then I got to be part of the parent and community wide introduction of the garden to the everyone. And I did what was supposed to be a food demonstration, but because the kids were so excited about it, we ended up doing a food collaborative making of salsa. So they lined up and had them wear gloves, and they all learned how to use a knife safely under my very close supervision. And then part of the same grant, I got to go to Washington Middle School, and they wanted a hydroponic tower garden. And so I was able to buy that for them with the same grant money, and the kids put it together. I brought it in, and I was starting to do it, and I thought, wait, let's let the kids do it. And if you can do Legos, you can do that. And the kids certainly do Legos. And it was wonderful to watch them collaborate and work together and do this, like microengineering thing as they're putting together this tower garden. They learned so much from it, and they're still learning from it because they're growing the food now. And they will be able to do so throughout the winter because it's indoors. And the garden itself can be pushed from classroom to classroom as each different classroom wants to learn a certain bit about growing food or photosynthesis or anything they want about that. And it was put together by the garden club. Wonderful stuff. And in there too, they had an introduction, a party to introduce the garden to the parents and the community. And again, I was supposed to do a food demonstration, and it turned into a collaborative event with the kids not needing quite so much supervision because they were older, but they still needed to know not to curve their fingers around under the knife, but to keep them flat on top. And we made, green goddess dressing and salsa, and had some carrots for dipping in there so they could taste it. And that was so much fun. I was so glad to be able to do that. This job is probably the best possible job for me. There's a lot of writing with it also. I was an English major. I tell people that. I have always been a gardener. And back in Arkansas, I had chickens. So long before I was here, I was already starting to donate to food pantries. And now that I get to be here, I get to do it and be paid. And this is amazing. It's wonderful. It's really a great thing. We do have a Facebook page. It's the Mobile Market Facebook page that has a lot of recipes on it. We give our days and times every week so that, new people coming in will know when we'll be at which place. And other little informational things, like I'm really fond of food history. So there are, believe it or not, a few YouTube channels that specifically are interested in food history. And so I'll put, like, on Saturdays after the downtown public market is closed, I'll post food history videos so people can go home, and if they're relaxing, they can relax, or if they're cooking food, they can just watch one of these really interesting videos. There are people who do things from the 18th century and that's pretty much what they do. There are people who do only medieval cooking, and that's what they do. And there's one more who does, his name is Max Miller. You may have heard of him already, but he does all throughout history. So you could pick anything from like a Babylonian pork roast to something up in the Middle Ages to something fairly recent, like what they ate on the Titanic. And it's just so much fun teaching people all these things and exposing people to different ideas. It's something that I've wanted to do for a really long time. And I've really been blessed to be able to get a job, an actual job doing it. Also this summer, you were mentioning LEAP. I'm going to be part of that too. One of the teachers at the high school called up just the other day and said, hey, we'd like to bring our English as a second language students to your market and have the kids buy food and practice their English skills. And I said, of course, that's wonderful. Come down. So they've got where we'll be and when we'll be, and they'll show up with their students, and the students will need to manage themselves in English for however long it takes. And also I'll be able to do a LEAP program over at Lincoln Elementary, where I'll be teaching eating the rainbow and healthy eating and that kind of thing. And fortunately, they're going to be dividing it into 2 groups because there are 70 some children. So they'll divide it from 1st through 3rd grade and then 4th and 5th grade, or wait, no, 1st and 2nd grade or kindergarten for whatever. The younger kids in one group and then the older kids in the other group. And so I will have to have 2 different curriculum to teach them. And it's so much fun. The creativity and the thinking that's involved is just right up my alley. I love learning, and learning is a big part of this job. So I can tell you a little bit about what my boss Linnea is doing, but not a lot, because she is her own part of the organization. She does a lot. She does more than I do. At this point, she is still managing the market on 3rd Street on Saturdays. And she will continue to do that, she says, until she dies, which I hope will not be for a very long time. She's a wonderful person. She's also working with people who've migrated here. They are legal immigrants, but they need help assimilating and finding food and that kind of thing. So she helps them with that. She's been doing a lot of things with Office on Aging. There's a program called Local Roots, where we actually got a grant and got a Sprinter van that is climate controlled so that we can take food around the county, not just to Jamestown, to seniors who need more access to fresh food. So we're trying to help the farmers. And I don't know if you know this figure, but according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, farmers make a profit, a yearly profit of about $200 a year if they're not doing industrial farming. So that's local family farmers really are struggling. That's just the way this food system works. If you want to make a profit, you have to go extremely big, and family farmers aren't. So the goal of what we're doing is not just to bring food to people and spread it out, which is a good thing to do. We're also trying to support the farmers. And that's where we need to have grants and donations and all that sort of thing coming in so that we can support what we do, because we have to pay them a living wage. And then we want to give the produce, sell the produce at a subsidized price. So, our goal is generally to break even. We are not a for-profit. We do not make a profit. So we survive on grants and donations and all that good stuff. So in short, I know we're running low on time. I can't tell what time it is. Our goal here is to help people. Oh, did I mention we also do community gardens? I oversee community gardens. So I teach a little bit with the growing of gardens and growing food. But most of the time, we have a lovely lead volunteer coordinator who is Lee Ravenio, who probably a lot of you know. And she's coordinating it. So most of the time at this time of year, the gardens pretty much run themselves. I'm not directly involved with them except spring and fall. And spring is when I'm bringing in gardeners, trying to recruit new gardeners, making sure people pay for the beds. And I do a little bit of teaching then, and I did a little bit of physical hands-on building of garden beds so that we would have enough. But in short, to conclude, our goal as an organization is to help people grow food, educate people on both food, where it comes from, the food system, and what healthy eating is. We bring the food to the people because, you know, if you're on SNAP and you don't have transportation, it's hard to get to food, and people they'll come out and buy produce when you bring it to them. And we also do our best to build community, to build relationships between people and farmers, between neighbors and each other. So that's what we do. And I'm at this point, I'm ready to take questions. What would you like to say? Yes. What do I farm? I farm, well, I'm just getting started. At the moment, we have chickens, ducks, and turkeys. We've got a vegetable garden, but that's just for the family. So we're not technically farming yet. We are just starting out. Yeah.
How do you find your farms that you deal with to get the food?
Well, I don't actually have to do that. Linnea does that, but she's been working with them for years. It's Abers Acres, she is the only organic certified farm in the county, and also Hidden Valley Farm, which is an Amish farm. And she's known them for years. They go to the farmers market, and so that's how they were found, I guess. Sure, yeah, we would accept others, yeah.
You mentioned food deserts.
Mhm.
Can you please define that and tell us how many perhaps and where they are in this area?
Okay. I'm not sure I can tell you how many there are because I'm new here, but what a food desert is, it's a place that's at least 1 mile from a grocery store that is serviced mainly by either convenience stores or gas stations where you cannot get produce. You might be able to find bananas or oranges sometimes, but most of the time you can't get produce. You can't get anything fresh. So we serve a lot of downtown Jamestown does not have a grocery store in it. So one of the, Covenant Manor where that is, there's no grocery store, but they do have the farmers market on Saturdays. So that covers that section. Prendergast Library, again, that's in the middle of a food desert. It would be a long walk to carry, especially if you have kids, to carry your bags and your children with you back and forth to the stores. CV Bush also is nowhere near a grocery store. They do have convenience stores, but that's it. And the big issue with food deserts is when you live in one and you're poor at the same time, you might not be able to afford both transportation and housing. My very first day, I attended an event from the United Way, and it was called the Alice Experience. And basically what it is, it's the working poor, asset limited income, constricted, employed. And when you don't have something where, okay, I can pull money out of savings to make a car repair or to pay for medication or whatever, everything is so much more difficult. Everything is so much more stressful.
I'm afraid we need to go ahead and adjourn officially,
Okay.
but this is, no, this, this has been very interesting, and I'm sure you'll stick around and listen to, answer other questions. One of Rotary's major international programs is to eradicate polio in the world. In honor and thanks for your presentation, our club will today make a donation in your name to vaccinate 4 children who will never experience polio in their life. So,
Thank you.
If you have any trouble finding a bank, introduce yourselves to the Joneses.
and so remember this year's Rotary in the international theme to create hope in the world. Thank you very much, everybody. Sorry, really appreciate it.